Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. Today, I'm your host, Alan, and we are delighted that you've chosen to join us on this awesome April morning. We love connecting to so many people through modern technologies such as YouTube, Facebook, and all of our social media accounts. So I encourage you to go to our website, CSL Charlotte, put in a prayer request, and subscribe. We're always adding something new each and every week. So who are we at the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte? Well, for one thing, we are based on a new thought movement and the science of mind. The science of mind philosophy was created in the early 20th century by writer and lecturer Dr. Ernest Holmes. Dr. Holmes was a man on a mission. He combined truths and wisdom from all the world's traditions and spiritual paths and created a fresh, new way for us to look at ourselves and how we fit into this world. So if that feels awesome to you, then I encourage you to just stick around. So what do we do here at CSL Charlotte? Well, for one thing, we are a diverse community and we welcome people from all kinds of diverse backgrounds. We're an open and affirmative community. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, black, white, or any kind of physical distinction, because we recognize that we are all individual expressions of that divine light. So you can just come here just as you are. You don't have to leave your philosophy or nature of knowledge. You can just be yourself. In fact, we use many holy scriptures, such as the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita, the Dhammapada, just to name a few examples. So why are we here at CSL Charlotte? Well, our vision is to live these science of mind philosophies so we can transform ourselves into leaders and to inspire future leaders. So we can all inspire it and transform into a much better world. So if that sounds awesome to you, then I encourage you to check out our weekly consciousness meetings on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we teach you the tools to do just that. So before I pass the mic over to our fabulous leader, I would like to read you a quote that goes with today's theme. Nature is good at connectivity. The impact of diverse human activities is observed and absorbed throughout nature. Everything is linked. Nature has no problem with coherence. Ecosystems react with their own logic. And that is by Jonas Garstor. And with that, I'll pass the mic over to our fabulous, radiant Reverend Rosedale Jones.
Yeah. So good morning, CSL Charlotte, and how are you and how are things rolling in your world? And good morning, YouTube and everybody else out there. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Charlotte. We are the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. And I forgot to say thank you to Alan. See, that popped in my head and I'm saying, hey, tell him. Well, with that being said, we are the Mind, Body, Spirit Center. So with that being said, listen to us, what we got going on today. Today, we're talking about living in coherence. So we know that there's no coincidences in life, and we know that we're going to be aware of living in coherence today. Now, with that, the first person we have on the platform to talk about this is going to open up the prayer with the affirmative prayer to set the tone. And after that, Dr. Wanda, who is the one leading us, is going to be making sure that in her mind, she knows that she is living in coherence. Okay, Dr. Wanda, let's pray.
So this morning, as I go into prayer, I would like to be very clear about what coherence is. And so what I know that spiritually coherence means inner harmony. It's that heart, mind, soul, and actions that are all aligned with the highest truth. It's when you're not divided inside, but whole and flowing. Heart coherence is when your emotions and thoughts are calm. Spirit coherence is when your outer life matches your inner heart. The whole universe is moving toward perfect coherence. The mathematic formula is coherence equals unity plus authenticity and love. So right here, right now, as I align my heart with love, my mind with truth, my soul with peace, it makes me whole. Not just me, but whole in you, with you, as you. So I am one with the divine. So right here, right now, I know that you each are the thread that weaves all hearts together. Each of you are the breath that moves through every soul. I open myself to your endless love. I welcome the flow of connection with you. We are the unity that binds all life, the harmony that sings creation. I make my heart a vessel of compassion and my spirit a bridge of peace. My life is a dance of unity with all that is. I see you in every face. I feel you in every heartbeat. I know you in every act of love. I live in sacred coherence, whole, connected, and alive in one heart. And so, right here, right now, before I release these words into a universal presence that knows only yes, I ask you to say with me, I am one with divine love, whole and at peace. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much, Dr. Wanda. So, next on our platform is our reader, Shauna B. And she is going to bring forth the reading of Living in Coherence. So, I'm quite clear that she knows what it is to live in coherence and what it is to think of life as a coincidence. So, with that being said, here she is today to do that. But before she does that, just remember that our spirits throughout this service is in deep connection, just to give you a hint about what living in coherence is really all about. So I'm clear that neither one of us in our lives have missed a beat. So let's go on with living in coherence together as Shauna B does this reading. After she does, listen to the song "In the Silence" by Jack Fowler. And Shauna B, make it do what it do.
Greetings, greetings. So today our reading was written by Reverend Rosedale Jones, and it is Spirit is Coherence in Motion. What if nothing in your life was random? What if every whisper of intuition, every unexpected meeting, and every door that opened or even closed was part of a deeper design? It's not a coincidence. It's a reflection of divine coherence. Coherence happens when your heart, mind, body, and spirit begin to move in harmony. It is the alignment of your inner world with the greater intelligence of life itself. Life isn't by coincidence, it's a part of something intelligent, beautiful, and whole. We often call these moments luck or coincidence, but spirit doesn't lead you on your path by accident. Spirit weaves your journey with love, precision, and purpose. It, it isn't hiding behind the curtain. It's here designing synchronicities. It's here moving with you to the next steps of your journey. Finally, Spirit is nudging you through intuition, dreams, and the quiet pool of inner knowing. The more aware we become, the more we shift from asking, why is this happening to me? We shift to realizing this is happening for me, through me, even as me. We start to see that we don't need to force life. We simply need to align with it. When we live in coherence with presence, gratitude, and openness, we begin to expect the very things we once called miracles. That is the joy of walking with spirit. We aren't waiting for life to happen to us. We are a part of something greater already happening through us. Spirit is the order within that used to feel like chaos. It is the rhythm in your breath, the meaning in your moments, and the sacred yes behind your deepest desires. So from now on, let's no longer live from coincidence. We'll live from coherence instead. Instead of living from fear, we will live from the knowing that spirit is at work. Recognize that every moment of your life is a part of something intelligent, beautiful, and whole. What looks like coincidence? This is a quote by Reverend Rosedale. What looks like coincidence is actually spirit in perfect rhythm, moving with us in coherence, not by coincidence. Thank you.
That is beautiful. In the silence. You know, we're going to start with a short centering. And I think if you would relax your eyes and just breathe, because today is very important to me to tell you about this breath, because that's how we're going to follow into coherence today. Now breathe in really deep into your belly and into your chest. And as you slowly exhale out, relax everything in you. Because see, living in coherence requires the breath and the silence. And see, that's where we find those moments of clarity and alignment. So Jack sang, in the silence there is peace. And in the silence there's unspoken joy. And he said, in the silence there is release from a world full of chaos and noise. But guess what? When I'm living in coherence, I'm moving with spirit. Spirit's moving with me, but it's all being done through my breath. So living in coherence is my goal. So when I feel angst, I'm not moving with spirit. So I'm not saying to myself, ooh, this is not working very well, right? So what Jack says that he does, he says, so I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that can never be said, because right here in this holy presence, I find God. I find myself. So take a deep breath and wiggle your fingers and your toes to integrate your mind, your body, and your spirit. And now, embrace the energy of your space and open yourself up for the talk, living in coherence. See, spiritual coherence is like a tuning fork. It's tuning your frequency, your radio to the perfect station, to the perfect channel where things just click for you. Your mind and your body moves in perfect harmony with the rhythm of the universe, but it all does it through this beautiful thing called breath work. There is no coincidence. It's all a reflection of the divine coherence. If you had that mirror in front of you, you would see divine coherence. It's easy to start living in coherence because coherence don't just happen. Let's put it that way. It's cultivated. It's cultivated in our breath, and it is a spiritual practice, a very deep spiritual practice. So you heard the quote from Shauna B. I love the way she said it. She let us know what it was all about. I loved it. I love the way she read that, I gotta tell her. But what looks like coincidence is spirit in this perfect rhythm. And what it's doing is moving with us in coherence, but it's not by coincidence by any stretch of the imagination. So living in coherence is really on, when you're living in coherence on the love side, it's really on you to really actually be there. Because I'll tell you why in a minute. But living on the love side is this consciousness, breath work, and spiritual practices and practicing the presence. Right now, as we are here, we're practicing the presence. We're together in one net, but the presence is right here with us and in this very thing we're working through. So here's what I know. There's also living in coherence on the fear side, and that's when we resist our practices. So now, when we do nothing and we have all these desires, that's not really, you're still in coherence. Why? Because you're doing exactly what you expect. nothing and nothing it gets you what? Right? So therefore, it's important to know this. Coherence is alignment. But the breath is the power of coherence. So the breath must be a big part of your practice in order for your heart, mind, body, and spirit to align. Just like Dr. Wanda said in the prayer, in order for all that to align, we need that breath. The breath opens the body, it calms the mind, and coherence follows. And that's because, here's the deal, the breath isn't just air. It's spirit entering form. And when we engage the breath, we activate coherence. So then, after you do that and you start really actually feeling that breath and actually feeling you and taking, I'm telling you, it takes 5 to 10 minutes to do this. Then you start living in coherence for that moment now. Because it's that magical state where your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions all start to align. And then you start to manifest your desires. See, in the moments of overwhelm, for me, I don't know about you, and distraction, we're still manifesting something. But here's the deal. Let me ask you, what do you think we're manifesting from? Coherence is like a drop of water, being a drop of in the ocean. And see, this drop knows that it is a part of this ocean. But we got to know that. I mean, I'm knowing that. We got to know that. This big, beautiful, infinite ocean, this drop is in there and it knows it's moving with the tides. It's life. It's life moving. That's what that ocean is. So, like in my reading, it says, it's not just about balance. It's about thriving in that state of alignment that uplifts you and everybody around you. So each and every one of us are in this ocean as drops. And guess what? These waves are moving and we're moving right on with it. Take a deep breath. I dare you. Let it out slow. See, for me, I know when it's time for me to pause. I know when it's time for me to breathe. And I know when it's time to check within myself, especially when I can feel, well, Spirit and I are not moving together on this one because my body is action. My body is telling me a whole new thing. So if I don't notice it and if I don't pay attention, I fall out of tune with coherence. And when I realize I'm out of tune, I get back in there. But what I didn't do is I start my powerful breath work when I say, hey, look where you are. But here's the grace in all of this. People get all nervous when they don't do it right. Something happens wrong. I mean, sometimes I say, oh my goodness, you didn't do anything. Let go, Rosedale. Don't be upset because this is what I know. Here's the beauty. I can always return to living in coherence. It's just not a matter of anything else other than the fact that we have to understand that we drift. You see, the water does the same thing. It doesn't matter how long it's been since we did our practice, so let go of that. It doesn't matter how long it's been since we even took a breath. Because people think because we automatically breathe and we're shallow breathing all day, we're breathing. I beg to differ with you if you're looking for the state of living in coherence. See, it really doesn't matter how long it's been since we sat and made a prayer or either did it with purpose. But this is what the deal is. If you do decide that I'm ready to come home to myself, Spirit will never go away from us. Never, never, never. We don't lose anything. It doesn't deplete itself. But the moment we notice and we return to that breath, when we return to that silence, that stillness, when we return to that sacred alignment, coherence begins again. See, we don't have to fix everything right in this one particular moment because we can fix it, but we don't have to do it right this minute. Calm down, breathe. People say that and they say it as a cliche, but it's not. It's coherence. It heals your body. It helps you to get up off your butt and do work. It helps you to upsell yourself. If you're looking for a new job, if you're looking for a new career, if you're in sales, Coherence is the place to be for all of that. If you have some things in your body that's lacking, Coherence is the place to be living in. So we don't need the perfect setting, the perfect mood, or the perfect music for that matter, but it's nice to have with that breath. We just need a moment. We need a breath, a willingness to say, Rosedale, I'm coming home to you. Not you go. Yeah, okay, you get it. So coherence it's not just a place that we arrive in. Coherence is not just a place we arrive at and stay there. Oh no, by no stretch of the imagination, but it's constant practice that brings us back. It's that rhythm that we can fall right back into. So as far as spirit is concerned, spirit will meet us anywhere, anytime. It has no problem with that. It's the mindset that people have. They say they feel guilty because, well, I haven't done any exercise in a couple. Just get up and do it then. You didn't do the exercise. That's for the body. I haven't worked out in years. Well, get up and do it. If it's telling you that, that's your inner being telling you get up off your butt. And you know what? Science has shown us that coherence is really not just a concept, a spiritual concept. Do you know that spiritual coherence is measurable? In neuroscience research, I'm big, I love this stuff. Coherence is observed when the heart, the mind, and the body and the emotions all come into one state of harmony. But now watch this. Now, I was certified by Heart Math in 2012, and we had these awesome, beautiful handheld devices where you can put on the person, it will show. That's why science knows it's measurable. It shows your heart line up in these smooth, aligned patterns. But after you do a breath and you're taught, somebody shows you how to do that breathing stuff, boy, let me tell you, it brings you in. It brings you into coherence. And each one of the people that in California, I just loved it because everybody's like, I want to do that. And people really, really knew what they wanted. But there is nothing coincident about life. I just got to say that again. It's part of something big. It's this intelligent, beautiful, and real piece of us. And it's going to be there forever. But we lose it because we leave it on the back burner because we're so busy trying to take care of this and that and that. But you know what I learned over the last, I want to say 2 years, probably just 2 years, because this is a lot to learn, but it's a lot. I talked to Dr. Wanda the other day. It's a lot of things we do. It ain't just one thing. I'm talking about the breath, but I don't just do the breath. I mean, it's not just me being in that. I mean, you have to be, in order to be living in coherence, you just got to stay on top of you the best way you can. And you take it every day, a step at a time. So this is how we get to begin to move in harmony, because every time, the deeper I get into this heart, brain, and the science, the deeper I get into me. And you don't need that to do that. You just need to trust that, I'm just going to do this. But see, when you know that you are in harmony, I know you know when it happens. You know why? Because you notice that you have had moments when you felt deep and you felt like, those are the moments. And when you're in spiritual practice, you're not just doing the work, you are the work. So when you're breathing and you are no longer shallow breathing, I mean really breathing, you're not shallow and automatic breath. It's intentional. Your life is on purpose. Your breath is alive, and that rhythm brings you even more life. So the breath isn't just air. I'm going to say that again. The breath is spirit entering form. This is the form. The breath is all around us, but you take it in. Now spirit is entering your form. We are in coherence. So that is exactly what I know. When we need to start living in coherence, especially me, and if I fall off my path momentarily, I just tune in. Here's one of the things I do. I start tuning into my heartbeat. And I know a lot of people say, I can't do that. It's just taking 5 or 10 minutes a day to get in tune with it. You'll hear it, but it's not going to happen overnight, especially if you haven't been used to doing that. Okay, it took me a little while. I can feel my heartbeat when I'm ready. And then I start my breath work. And then I figure I'm going to set my intentions. And most of the time, my intentions is just to sit here and be calm. Just not think about what I got to do in 15, 20 minutes. Just not think about that last phone call. Just not think about any of that. And then, as I tell everybody in most of my guided meditations out here, is that happiness is an inside job. So you got to feel around for gratitude in order to get that happiness. That's still that state of coherence. Then I feel myself, I'm in the flow again. I feel myself move from chaos all the way to clarity. I even feel myself, you know the word discord, dissonance, or whatever. I feel myself move from discord into divine rhythm. Well, let me ask you this. How do you feel when you're living in coherence? You got to know. There are ways to practice the breath, and each and every one of those ways, oh my God, they lead to one place. A committed breath practice creates coherence. The breath is the wisdom. Oh my God, I love it. The breath is the wisdom of how life aligns when we align with it. You're living in coherence when your heart, mind, body, and spirit are beginning to move together in that harmony. And I just love that. So I know exactly something else. There's certain feelings that we have, and I know you get them. We all have them. It's those moments when we feel grounded and we feel like, hey, life, I got you. And we feel moved, and we also feel grateful. All that stuff we feel in one big swoop. But it's so possible for everybody. All we got to do is do our work. And, you know, with me going as deep as I'm going, I'm becoming so in tune to that, to the point where we started a new class. And so it's 6 weeks long. And everything I talked about was always about this class. But there is not a practice you will miss by rejuvenating and refueling and bringing your batteries back in this new class. Because you're going to learn how to quiet the mind, maybe differently this time. Maybe you'll look at this whole stuff and these readings you're going to be getting. Maybe you'll look at them and say, wow, somebody came and read the words. Because now you're beginning to see words that actually you didn't see before, but they were there. You're going to hear things that you never heard before, but you reconnect with your inner power in these classes. But I'm not going any further on that one, just to let you know, because this one is all about sleep, but it doesn't mean anything, because guess what? It's all about the practice and your intuition and your sleep, two powerful things. Combine that with the breath before you sleep, you're really there. So now just know that, stay tuned for that class thing. But anyway, like I said, there are many ways to practice the breath. And one of them is the box breath. We got the belly breath. We got the long breath. We even have the heart focused breath. We even have the 7 doors closing mantra. We have so many different types. Some are to lower the blood pressure. Some are to raise the blood pressure, because some people may be under. You know, I'm telling you, I'm not going any more about that, but they all lead, the breath all leads to the presence. It leads to the wholeness. It leads to what? Coherence. Living in coherence is the ultimate goal. That's what excites me so much, of how great I am feeling and being from 30, 40 years ago. That's why I'm so excited about this. See, do you know that feeling when you want something so deeply and so truthfully that it's almost inside of you, angsting you? Well, I told that to Alan this morning, that's spirit in action, just reminding you, you really want to do this, you really want to do this, it's not anxiety, but a lot of people call it anxiety because they ain't doing nothing. They're not doing anything about the feeling. They just like, oh, I want that, but I want to be with this person. I want to be doing this, but I'm not going to say nothing. But it's your soul remembering something. Your soul is remembering something. It's not anxiety. Breathe, and it'll make you strong enough to do that thing you need to do. Live in coherence. Your life will change even more so. So some people call it like longing when they think about, but I really want that thing. It's not. I think of it as the divine yearning because spirit, remember, it has its being and breathes and moves through us. Well, listen to this. It can't do all those things if we don't get up and do it. So what does it do? In that little silence, it keeps reminding us, oh, did you remember to do your prayers, work this way? Oh, did you put in those applications for that job application? Oh, did you decide that you're going to write up a new proposal to do a new sales contract? Oh, did you decide that, oh, I'm going to do a little exercise here because I had a little deal with my calf muscles. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's that place. That coherence is that place between where we are and where we're being called to be. But that call by spirit can be very intense. So don't call it anxiety because it's not anxiety. You just need to get the work done. See, it's that kind of feeling that doesn't go away until you say, okay, I'm doing it. It's with you even in the silence if you know you haven't been doing anything. It calls you out in the middle of the night if you know you haven't been doing anything. It calls you in your bones until you say, okay, yes, I hear you. I know that feeling well. I came a long way of being bold and stepping out or in times when I really didn't want to do those step out things. But most of the time, it was about me stepping up and selling my idea, me stepping up and selling me in order for me to get the things I decided I wanted. So Shauna B, what is it that you want? Get up and do it with that big smile on your face. Too many people give up on desires. There's this thing I said to Alan again, people die with the music still in them. Yeah. These desires are the music. And all you got to do is turn that radio frequency in, because those desires that come in and out of us all the time, they come with hope and angst, both of those things. So which one do you want to live on? Alan said, it's no way I want to be 10 years in misery. So which one? That's angst. So let's move. They do nothing about those desires. Some people, like I said, need to wake up, because when you die with the music still in you, instead of shifting to the breath work, it just leads to incoherence. And you don't want to do that. You want to be the one living in coherence. So it's up to you. We got to move that physical body toward that wholeness. We got to move that physical body toward reaching that goal that we said we wanted. Spirit is always, 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 always doing its part. But here's my question. Do you believe it enough to do yours? So remember, spirit comes to us in a flash, in an idea. It even moves through us in lyrics of a song. It speaks to our heart, mind, our body, and our spirit. And what I love about the song part is it just lets you know who you are, and whose you are. Because it moves through the music. It moves in the moments where external messages speak directly to us, things from the outside. Sometimes we need that out there. So don't think that, oh, that's outside of me, everything's coming from it here. Oh, come on, guys, let's get real. That's living in coherence. That spirit in motion, and all it's doing is mirroring the coherence inside of me. That's what it's doing. And here's the powerful truth about it: coherence is not passive. It's this dynamic, living frequency, and it responds to our breath. And when we pray with intention, and when we pray with diligence, discipline. Shauna B said in the consciousness meeting last week. And when we meditate, and we are fully present, we get to walk by faith. Because you're in coherence. Get there. You'll get your faith, I promise. Because we are living in coherence when we start stepping out there, knowing that I don't care, I'm doing this thing. Because coherence, like I said, is that tuning fork, and it'll get you tuned up. And next thing you know, you'll be ready. Just get that breath going on. See, because we're not separated from it. Don't act like we are. Because we are that vessel, that channel, and we are the living space. There is a space, and we are it. Each and every one of us are outlets, yeah, like electricity things. Spirit moves, breathes, and it has its being in each and every individual here, and each and every individual you see anywhere. But that's okay if they don't know it. You know it. And you know what? I don't just believe that spirit's breathing in me and having its being in me and thinking through me and making me do, not making me, but, just reminding me in my mind so I can go get up and do it. But here's what it is. I don't just believe it. I know it. So with that, living in coherence is exactly what it's being when it comes down to spirit and what spirit means. So with that saying, how about calling yourself that place where God lives? Because that is the main thing about knowing who you are. When you know and you're in coherence, you start to know, I am the place where God lives. So let me tell you, right now I'm in coherence. I sat here and breathed with you all this time. And I said, yeah, this is reminding me to get into my own breath. But I think of myself as an outlet right now. And I know that no matter what I call it God, I call it spirit, I call it the universe or whatever, I'm that place. So I want you to hear this next song, because I am that place where God shows up. I'm the place where God lives is the song. But watch where God shows up for you today. And listen to the song, I'm the place where God shows up. And that be by Eddie Watkins Jr. Ooh, who are you? Where are you? Who are you? Where are you? I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. Do you remember who you are yet? Do you know who you are? How do you feel about being the place where God shows up? I know how I feel about it. So now I'm not going to leave that alone, because you know how you feel. Fantastic. Thank you, gentlemen, my right-hand man and my pilot. So I got to give big kudos to the team here, the platform. Listen, thank you, awesome Alan. You did the thing there with that, I think you know how to handle stuff, huh? So opening and closing prayer, Dr. Wanda, you always do that. Platform, all of that, puts it all in my system, girl. And also, Shauna B, that was powerful. You was giving us that reading as though you know for a fact what it is and what it ain't. Loved it. So Timmy P, man, he does our music, and he just knocks those announcements out, especially when he could practically tell you what the talk was about and also tell you what's going on with this class. So he got this. Anything you need to know, when Timmy P's up, you will hear it. So thanks, Timmy P, for that. And also thanks for the spotlighting out there, Groovy. She's out there somewhere doing it in a nice, quiet little atmosphere back there, but it's all good. And Mo, thank you so much for being on our prayer team and being that prayer person to send out those emails. So, like I always say, if you have not received a prayer request from Mo or this community, that's because you didn't put in that prayer request. Put the prayer request in. You'll get that thing in your box and you will be ever so happy you did. So, what else? I think we pretty much wrapped up almost for today. But remember this now, today was about living in coherence. And just keep that in mind this week when you start to see when things, oh, I would say you're falling apart at the seams. Breathe. About 5 or 10 minutes, go sit down somewhere and get away from everybody. Go sit in your car, turn the air on, and just sit and breathe. But you got to do it with that nice breath work. And once you learn the breath work in our class, you will see, man, this thing really clicks me in. But that's what living in coherence is really all about, guys. So get your things together, find out about your motive for all of this, and get started living in coherence. So we also have to make a big decision when we are doing this, wanting to start living in coherence, and that is self-love. We have to make a decision to make love that decision, because love is what that power of spirit is, God, universe, whatever you choose to call it. And what it does is it is the decision that you make to get up and walk down that road. So it's about practicing the breath work, living in coherence, and learning that love is your decision. So see love as the reason for you to be living in coherence, because you love you just that much. So listen to the song, Love is My Decision by Daniel Nahmod. Love is my decision. And once I decide to change my mind, the universe, God, spirit, anything within me shows me. So I get to dance down the road because I have this self-love. So with that being said, Dr. Wanda, would you pray us out?
Okay, let's take a breath. Take that in. That was a powerful, powerful meeting today. So today, as we move into prayers, we take a deep breath and relax into our cohesion, our acceptance, our oneness. I know right here and right now that each and every one of us is the face of God. We are the place where God lives. And how am I expressing that coherence? I know that each of us is an expression and a color in the beautiful mosaic of life. I accept that each of us has a tone that we play in the harmony and the symphony of life. I know that no matter what hurricanes or waves are tossing us to and fro in the ocean of life, I dive deep down into it, into that space of peace and calm that is always calm, no matter what is going on up above. And I relax into that, knowing that that's my coherence. Not only must we be alive, but I know that as we step into our alignment, we must now take action. I step into alignment with spirit, because all alignment, all attunement, all oneness, all love requires action. So today I take action. I open my eyes. I see the beauty in each and every one of you. I name and claim good for each and every one of you, because I know that love is all there is. There is only one. There is no separation. And so right here and right now, I give thanks for the opportunity to be here once again today and to experience the beauty and the cohesiveness of this community. So with that being said, I ask you to just take a breath, breathe that in, and realize that we are all part of this amazing puzzle, this mystery of life, knowing the spirit always goes forward, never backwards. It is always seeking coherence. It is always seeking itself in each and every one of us. We are the face of God. So how are we going to make God look this week? With that, I simply say thank you, and so it is, and that's the truth. Aho.
Oh, my. How are we going to make God look this week? I love it. Oh, happy. Oh, my God. Thank you, Dr. Wanda. You just landed it, boy. Let me tell you. Yeah, Timmy P flew us up. Dr. Wanda landed us. So, just so you know, guys, as we wrap up our time together, let us remember that living in coherence is really not just an idea. It's the peace that passes all understanding. People say, well, my goodness, how are you so peaceful? Because it's not for you to understand. But anyway, remember that, guys. Living in coherence is the goal. So move forward this week, and with all of this awareness, activate that and embrace living in coherence. And remember, the universe is always and constantly following us, supporting us on our journey. So with that being said, by the time we meet again, start the process of living in coherence. And so it is.